Hello YouTubers. A number of things have happened over the last week. We've had the frame here and the swing arm at the sandblasters. They've sandblasted it. There's a number of little wee things that we're going to do. This bit here is a Fantic arrangement for stops on the steering head as it comes round. And it fits in there, and as it turns round, there's supposed to be some little bolts in here, and they stick out and you adjust it for going around on the stop on here. I don't particularly like this look of this arrangement that I've got here. Looks a bit bloody ugly. So what I intend to do is to cut that off, grind that back, make it tidy, and put one of a very similar thing to this internal peg here. We will put a peg in here like this, weld it onto here. It's got an internal thread, so it'll basically sit out like that. This isn't it, but it'll weld onto there. We can put a bolt in there and adjust it with a lock nut, and it'll just be that sticking out on both sides. So that's what we're going to do there. I've noticed a few other little things that need doing. This was a lock mechanism, has been cut off but hasn't been ground, so we'll grind it out and make that look a bit better. Other than that, it's come up very, very nice as far as sandblasting. Gives a really good key for the next part. This is the back stay for the back seat and the mudguard. So that's come up good. I have noticed on the swing arm here, let's move this over here so we can have a look. So this is the swing arm. Now they are attached to this big bolt that runs through. We had a lot of trouble getting this off. This piece here goes onto here like this, and that goes, when that sits in there, the engine back brackets sit over this and clamp onto this with 4 bolts. But this part here that goes in here, I'll pull this out and show you. This was so tight we couldn't move it at all. So what we had to do, we had to heat this up, and then bang some penetrating oil down in here. My partner had a big hammer and she smacked on this end with the nut on. It just started to move, and I had my big socket on here with a 22mm extension bar on here. We moved it back and forth, but we got a little bit of movement out of it, and then slowly it moved, and it moved enough. When we got it to about that position there, round about there, we couldn't hit it anymore. It was still tight, but we could just move it, it wouldn't come out. So we put it on its edge like this. I got a big drift, hit down here with a big lump hammer. We managed to get it out. It was quite a job. We did it without having to go and get a big press on it, so we were quite lucky to do that. So essentially all that holds this together is these metal sleeves that go into a bush here. So what I intend to do, they just sit there and you just put grease on them. Well, that's alright, but what I decided to do was put some angled 45 6mm grease nipples. So we'll attach those. We might, I don't know how much room I've got there. I think I might have to take a little bit off there so it doesn't protrude, so it's touching that. Luckily there are already holes in the sleeve, so we'll be able to squirt stuff around there. We'll just have to drill, probably have to drill through that bush. So that's what we'll do there. So that'll go there. There'll be one there and one here, and I've also got one when we put this in here, so this never gets stuck on that shaft again. We'll put one here as well. So that's that. This is the swing arm linkages from the shock absorber. Now, luckily, someone had already drilled these in there, but these will have to get some new ones because they weren't even in place. So they are just, as you see here, they are just a. So these sleeves, they fit in here and onto these bushings, and these bushings have got, luckily have got a hole already, so they'll work really well. I'm pretty pleased with that. There's also, they're metal ones. This one here is a really strange one. Some sort of hard plasterized or plastic sleeve. It's even got a hole in it for grease to go into. So that'll work well. Pleased about this. So we've moved forward here. We're happy about all this. I've just got to drill these, tap them, put those threads in. Now we went backwards here with the shock absorber. I'll show you. This shock absorber is pulled right out. Push down. It should come back up again, but it don't. It's got no oil in it at the moment, but I tried it with oil and it doesn't really work. So we're having to call on a second-hand one. We live in New Zealand. There aren't many of these around, so we'll have to get one from the UK. I've already made a tentative phone call to a bike wrecker. He may be able to get me one, so we're still waiting for that email to come through. So what we'll do is we'll get this unit, if we can get one, we'll get this unit sent over without the spring. The spring weighs just about as much as this, so it'll be double the freight. We've already got the spring. All we need is the actual unit. I did have a guy have a look at it and think, right, how much could we could recondition it for? Well, when you really think, it's got a bit of a scratch here, so it would have to be properly re-chromed. I know it's at the top, but so there'll be probably a lot of money, and probably more money than getting another one. So these things, apparently, if we can undo it, I might be able to undo it. No, I can't. You can get into this. This sleeve comes off, and there's a circlip in there that you undo, and you can pull the whole thing apart with the right tools. So we just have to find out about that. A wee bit more homework done into this. What else? I'll move this back. Oh yes, well, we've got this here. I'll show you something that we were going to do. Now, this is the chain tensioner that connects onto there, goes under, it attaches onto the swing arm in the inside here, and it's on a spring that goes up and down where the chain runs over this block. Now it was attached through here with a circlip on here. Now over the years these get a hell of a lot of wobble, and this is the remains of the bushing that was in there. I smacked that out with a drift because it was all worn. When you have a look at this is where the circlip goes. When you have a look at it, it's rather worn in here, so it's had an over in here. So what we'll do, grind that off, get a new bit of rod, we'll thread the end and put a lock nut on here, put a washer, put the new bush in here to fit this size and the outer of this, and rather than have a circlip that just sits in there like that can be knocked over, I'll make that slightly longer and we'll put a lock nut on it, and then we can tighten that up and with a washer on this side, and it will snip nice and snug inside there and travel really nicely up and down. So that's what we're going to do there. I'll just show you the mechanisms for the steering system. As you can see, it's got a tapered roller bearings, top and bottom, with races. Now these races fit into here, and essentially that's how they work. There's a race and your bearing, your tapered bearing. So when that goes down in there like that, then it's all pulled up tight with the thread. This is threaded. They push down and they get tighter in the race. And you can adjust that for tightness, top and bottom, so it just gets drawn together. If it was loose, it would be really quite easy. Tighten it up just the right till you get the right amount of steering. It's much better than ball races. They do the same thing, but there's more surface area, and you really do notice the difference with a tapered ball bearing, a tapered bearing. So that's that. I'll just wipe the hands. Now over here we've got the tank. Now that tank is in very good order. Now I'm going to talk about the tank at the moment. As you can see, it's in not bad order, but I have got a bit of a problem in this region around here. So the tank set up here like this, and the steering right up in here with the shock absorbers running down. So I do believe someone has fallen over. They've given it a bit of a smack here. A plastic tank, but didn't damage it right through, didn't punch a hole right through, just made a bit of, took some of the plastic off. So I've now patched it with body filler. I've got a bit more work to do on it yet, but it is the basics that are there. I'll just fill a bit more. It's got a bit of crazing around here, which I'll sand, and I'll fill with primer filler. It's a light grey, which I'll put over this. I'll mask this around. Take these Fantic decals off, and I'll paint this around here. I managed to get some white match that went away to the paint manufacturer, and he matched it to this colour, so that was good. We've also going to take this into the same guy and he'll match this colour. Now it's all very well because there are lots of reds in the world, hundreds of them. So, but we do believe from doing another Fantic up that it's Ford Rosso Red. There is a powder coat colour called RAL 3020 colour code, but we're not sure if this is exactly the same, so it's best, seeing we're doing the whole frame red, we really want this to match up, because we don't, these are in good order, they just need a bit of a clean. We're going to match this colour, which we don't know the name of, so we just get it matched. The other thing with this tank also is we've engaged a sign writer to make the decors for this. Now, in this particular model, the Fantic 241, the colours come from the side panels up and then turn up and rotate over the top of the tank. Quite difficult to do, but we've got this guy that's made some up, and he's done it on his computer and he's spotted everything. So that work has already been done, sitting in his computer, ready to when he wants to print them, which is basically one of the last jobs we'll do. We'll take that when the bike's all complete, we'll take it to him. He will put the decals on himself, and that'll be one of the last jobs. One other thing we're going to have a look over. We've got some heat paint as well. That's what's done here. Heat resistant paint. Now this is the exhaust. Looks a bit horrible at the moment, but I'm sure we can resurrect this. It's not bad here. Someone's had a bit of a bump here, but we'll clean this up. Sand it down. On this side, the tyre's rubbed, hasn't been adjusted onto the frame properly, so it's rubbed. And it looks as though someone has cut this along here and folded that out and repacked it. We might have a look at that. It's hard to know. We also might just throw a bit of acetylene down here, and burn all the stuff out of it. But it definitely needs a bit of a clean up. Looks a bit bloody ugly, so we might even put a patch across it. We don't know yet, but we'll work on that one. And that's about it for this video. See you next time.